Okay guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing this kind of like freeway generator. I was driving on the road. I am American, so being on the freeway is like half of my life, I would say. And so I was getting on this on-ramp and I saw this beautiful stacking of all of the concrete bridges. It was like maybe 4 or 5 levels for some reason. At least my imagination was 4 or 5 levels. And I thought that was really cool. So I think we're going to be doing essentially how to do curves to freeway, essentially. So I think we want to make kind of a scene like this, but from a different angle, rather than top down, to be bottom up or on it. And so I like this idea of multiple freeways kind of going over it themselves. And so we have all these different ideas of what it is, kind of getting this kind of branching path kind of look. And again, we're going to be doing like one kind of view. So it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. It'll be okay. And essentially a freeway is just a road with a bridge or like a support in the center of the road. We take the scene, delete the cube, delete the light for now. And we're going to do a Bezier curve starting off. So curve, Bezier. And what's nice about this is if we tab in, we can click over here to draw, and we can draw these curves, and that's how we're gonna get it happening. So we're gonna go here into geometry nodes, and that's where we're gonna be focusing our work. So honestly, it's pretty straightforward. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a curve to mesh. Now we have to have a profile curve for this. And so we can build it in geometry nodes pretty easily with just some curve primitives. So curve, primitives, we can do quadrilateral, right? And that's this. And so we want it to be wide. So let's just say, what's the actual width of a freeway? Maybe it's 2 lanes. So it's like maybe 3, 6, let's just say 10 meters. And maybe it's 1 meter tall. Probably not. Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 1.5. Now the actual road part probably is like a meter. I don't know. Who knows? And then we can do a transform geometry. So we have the base right here done. We also need to do the top parts. And so let's just do maybe 1 by 1. Maybe 1 by 2. And then we're going to do this. We're going to do a join geometry. And we're going to preview both of them. And we're going to want to move this to be up. So what is this? 0.5. Okay. And the X. And maybe actually a bit higher. So let's just do 2.5. That'll be confusing because of the actual half of it. So let's do 3. And it should be, I think, 1. There we go. Now it's offset perfectly. Control Shift D, piping it in, and then 4.5. So now we have this curve. Put in the profile curve here. And we're seeing a little kind of freeway thing. It is upside down from how we want it to be positioned. So if we do, I guess we offset this. So it's -1, -1. And then let's do a shade smooth. Make sure it's not smooth so it looks a bit better. Okay, it's looking okay. The proportions are looking okay too. So let's actually make a curve radius, set curve radius. And let's make it maybe 0.1, 0.2. How does that look? That looks okay. And then we're also going to need to now get the center pylon. And we can make that with just a mesh. So we'll go over this, Y, pull it over a little bit, look at it. And then for the pylon look, we're going to want to have it be kind of like this, I'm assuming. That's kind of how, well, I guess it's more like that. So if we do Control 2, have it in, and sub D this up. Scale X, Y. There we go. Scaling of the Y. Just add a loop cut, pull it in, scale Y, pull it in, loop cut, scale Y, pull it out a little bit. And then we're going to do a loop cut here. They have this and that little center thing kind of gone in. So we click here, inset the face. Actually, should click both sides. Inset the face. I guess extrude, and then scale Y, X. So pull it in a little bit. Scale X, pull it in some more. Then inset the face. So if I do a loop cut and pull it like this, that should actually help. Yep. Pull it up. There we go. Grab everything. S on the X direction, make it a bit skinnier. ASX. Say the top part, let's actually grab this, make it a bit wider. Alt-Z to X-ray mode, grab everything. Actually 2 points, grab everything. And also scale it bigger. That's too big. Scale X. Extra loop cut, no. Here, I'm literally just playing around with it right now. Actually, we want the origin to be right there, maybe a bit in. Let's say freeway pillar. That's done. Back into the Geo Nodes. We have the freeway pillar done. Pull this in. So now we have the freeway rough look right here. We got to put in the pillar too. So to do the pillar, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have the curve be resampled. So we have all of this going into the curve to mesh. So we can say Control G, and this can just be the freeway curve. So we know that that's right. It's all cleaned up. And now we need to make sure we have a certain amount of points, regardless of how we draw it out, where it's going to sample a freeway kind of like drop correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a resample curve and branch the overall curve data. And we're going to set it to length. So every X amount of spots is we're going to have this. So instance on points. And we have these points. We plug this in. When we preview it, there's all of these. Great. Too much. So maybe every 5 meters. That looks roughly right. Let's first actually join it together. So we say join geometry over here. We're going to pipe this in and pipe it in. And we're going to delete the preview. It's too big for it. Apply scale. Now it looks about right, actually. So if we go into here, tab in, it's still just a curve. We draw something way bigger. We're getting 1 in the center. Or 1 after 10 meters, essentially. And we need to align this curve to the rotation of the overall Y with the normal. That is the answer. So we have our little freeway generator. Let's go over it one more time. We were able to do curves to a little freeway generator by 2 things. We made the freeway pillar, which is right here, just by doing subdivision surface modeling. And then we also made a curve remesher. And we also made a curve remesher using this kind of little node group right here, which is going to basically take some quadrilaterals and move them around to get that kind of overall shape. So then we also used this node group to make another kind of profile curve for the freeway. So we were able to get this kind of road top surface. And then we were able to make the support pillar be the same regardless of how the curve was drawn by resampling the curve with the length parameter right here. And then that was able to then be used in order to make sure we had the orientation of them set correctly with an align rotation to vector right here. And then no matter how we draw our little freeway, it's going to look correct. I might actually change the curve type. Set curve type. And if we say, whoops, set spline type. And if we say NURBS, it'll just be a bit more smooth. Let's make a scene. I think I'm happy with the rough layout. I think I could have done a lot better with the composition, but I think it's okay. I think we got some reasonable views. We have kind of rough thirds here, and it's centered as well. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think I could definitely improve the composition, but I'm happy with it for how it's going to look. So I also added a trim curve node at the very beginning to be able to animate this, so it kind of comes out of nothing. And that'll be kind of a fun effect, I think, for the road. And then all you gotta do is finish adding materials and we're pretty much good to go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I think I'm gonna call it here. The rest I'm gonna do the materials and stuff in post. Hope you learned something, and I hope that this was useful for you. If you want the project file, feel free to go to my Patreon to grab it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Augury.